Universal Champion Roman Reigns with us, moments away from what is being billed as the biggest match of all time, going for undisputed status against Brock Lesnar. In everybody we talk to in the lead up to this promotion, Paul Heyman himself has even said it, of saying this version of you, the tribal chief, that it's clear that you have found your truest identity. How do you define it? How do you define the tribal chief?
I think it's just a collection of experiences that I've gone through, throughout my career and my life. There's a lot of different performers and WWE superstars who kind of create and build a persona throughout their career. Mine just started happening, the moment I was born. I was born in this business. I've been around this business. I've seen, multiple men in my family, through the highs and lows, the ebbs and flows of this business. I like to think that I'm smart enough to learn from all of those, situations and experiences that they've gone through.
There's a lot that you say there, Roman, that to me, when we talk about your identity and you say the family legacy and your life experiences and how much this has always been woven through the fabric of who you are, that losing doesn't align with that. Losing definitely does not align with the tribal chief, with the head of the table. So knowing that, knowing this stage and this opponent, how critical is winning? How critical is this main event and the outcome of this main event?
I think it's everything. I mean, we throw around this word, lately, this power, that we sought after. And yeah, we display it every Friday on SmackDown. We display it, monthly, in our premium live events. And the stroke that we have, the power that we display, the political things that we're able to do with the wise man, when we're in situations that aren't on TV. None of that really matters if I don't go out there and I don't back it up in the ring. Everything that orbits me, it's not possible if I don't go out there and I don't, back up everything that I say. So we're not scared to talk with anybody. We're not scared to, give us a live mic, put us on, put us on Fox, put us on SmackDown, and we'll joust with anybody verbally. But if we can't go out there and walk the walk, if we can't go out there and back up those words that we say, that hype that we build, for what we do, then there's no substance. It's just words.
You've backed it up for 581 days now. 581 days of a title reign that is top 5 in WWE history. You're just steamrolling through opponents here. How are you better on this run as a champion than the previous versions of some of your runs?
Just the experience. Like I touched on before, these are, I'm not the type, that likes to dwell on the past. I like to move forward. I like to learn, from the mistakes I've made and better myself, but we don't discard what we've been through. We don't just blip that history and forget about it. We learn from it. We digest it. We chew on it. We take everything that we can from it to better ourselves and to continue to push progress. So I think just it's like simple math. It's what every human should be doing, learning from their past, learning from the experiences that they've gone through, and better themselves to push forward and create something even bigger.
This is a very thoughtful, reflective version of you who's taking it all in, being honest with us in your assessments. The guy who was sitting in this chair before you, your opponent at WrestleMania, Brock Lesnar, was seething when he was talking about this match, was coming forward and saying this is personal, especially because of the role that Paul Heyman plays as your special counsel. In any way, is this personal for you when you look across and you're going to be opposite Brock?
It's only personal for him because it's personal for me. It's only personal for him because I made it personal for him. And that's exactly how we want it. We want him seething. We want him pissed. We want him overthinking everything. We want him emotional. because for me, it's systematic. You know, I've manifested it, I've envisioned it, I've put myself through every type of experience and drill that we need to be ready for this moment. And that's exactly what we want. We want Brock to take his eye off the ball, because as soon as he does that, he can't touch us. You know, he's out of his game plan. And especially for someone like Brock, he's a tenured athlete, a world-class athlete who's used to that structure, used to that training, and keeping that focus, keeping that game plan all the way from, you know, the squared circle in WWE to the octagon in UFC. He's a guy who has been just drilled on what to do, and as an athlete, he follows that game plan. But when he's dealing with the tribal chief, when he's dealing with his old advocate, and the upgraded wise man, as I like to look at him, he's in his emotions right now, which takes him out of his head, and he's in his heart. And when you're dealing with somebody as good as me in that ring, someone as experienced as me, someone who's been in every situation imaginable, and a lot of those situations are due to Brock Lesnar. This is a monster that he had a huge hand in creating. You know, as a world-class athlete, as an elite level athlete like myself, I understand where Brock's coming from. But I also looked at the advantages that he's had. And one of the big ones was Paul Heyman. So I stole that from him, stripped it from him. And now he's by himself. Now he's alone in this Shark Tank.
You are not bashful when it comes to monikers, when it comes to catchphrases, when it comes to signature lines, and we've been seeing God mode a lot. Explain that to me. Where's it come from? What's it mean to you?
God mode, it's simple, man. It's greatness on a different level. You know, we've seen it so many times. The GOAT moniker, the GOAT, title has been thrown around so much. So for me, I wanted to be put in that category. I wanted to be in that conversation. But once you get in that conversation, how do you move the goalpost back? How do you push that finish line back even further?
Can we talk about some of those levels? Because this is a weekend where it's very evident the strata that exists in the history of WWE. A weekend in which The Undertaker has a sustained standing ovation going into the Hall of Fame of 12, 13, 14 minutes before he even can say a word. A weekend in which the promotional buzz, a lot of it beyond you guys, obviously as the headliners, is stone cold coming back in front of a crowd after 19 years away from WrestleMania. So you think of those all-time legends. Where is this all headed for you? And how critical is this weekend in this main event in defining that?
I mean, I honestly think that this is the biggest weekend of my career. You know, as far as my professional life, this is as big as it comes. I mean, when we're talking about the biggest WrestleMania match of all time, when we're talking about Brock Lesnar, Roman Reigns, and we're talking about a title unification, it does not get any bigger. You know, and some people, especially in this world we live in now, very cynical, fan bases, and viewers. They're always going to try to pick at it, but there's no exaggeration here. It is what we bill it as. We're not trying to fluff this thing up. We're not trying to make it something that it's not. This is the biggest match in WrestleMania history. This company is more lucrative than it's ever been. We're $1 billion industry, and you're looking at the two men who back that up on a weekly basis, and me even more so. So when you take that into account, you look at, everything that we've done, for this business, what we're doing for this city this weekend, and then also tie that into a WrestleMania Hall of Fame type of moment where we bring in these legends, we celebrate these legends. We're here to celebrate them, but they're also here to celebrate us and what we're doing, how we're driving this thing forward, how we're taking it to heights that's never been seen. I mean, when it comes down to it, like I said, this is $1 billion industry. When I was making $500 a week down in FCW, the developmental before it was NXT, I cut a promo for Dusty Rhodes. And I don't remember all of it, but I pretty much said, I'm a walking $1 billion check. And everybody looked at me like, what the heck? This guy's crazy. What's he talking about? He's $1 billion check. Dream knew exactly what I was. Everybody else, they were, you know, they at the time they were my peers. You know what I mean? They had no clue what was happening. Now they're beneath me. But Dream at the time, a Hall of Famer, a bona fide draw, someone who drove the business forward, he understood what I was talking about. And what, 10, 11 years later, look what's happening here. So, you know, when it comes to being a Hall of Famer, being a legend in this game, you know, my work speaks for itself.
Champ, final question. When the nearly 100,000 people here at AT&T Stadium leave after your match, what will they be saying about you?
He's the greatest of all time. Not because he said it, not because many others said it. It's because I back it up with every performance. You're going to watch, it's going to be an unbelievable night one. We're going to push through and we're going to go to night two, and you're going to see a lot of really, you know, top level, great performers. But when you see me take center stage, when you see me take my ring, everybody's going to understand why I am who I am, why I do the things that I do, why I'm on a different level than everybody else. All the way from the little things to the huge aspects of this presentation. I check every single box, and there's not going to be anything that, you know, that's done out there that's going to be, you know, a disconnect with the statement that I'm the greatest of all time.
Roman, thanks for your time. Best of luck. Always good to visit with you.
Yeah, you too. Thank you.